Hey, everybody. Welcome back into the Choose Your Own Adventure Readings and Healings. Today, I'm joined by Tabby of BeLightFul Healing.
Yay.
And we're just here to rock and roll. So if you didn't catch this yesterday, basically what we're doing today is offering a bunch of different choices for reading. So anyone can get one free question answered for 11/11. See what's coming your way soon and how you can align to your greatest and highest path. For 22/22, grab an energetic reading to communicate wherever your higher self wants to bring into your awareness. Whatever. Wherever? Yeah. And then 33:33, what is holding me back? What can I do to release these blockages? So welcome.
I'm excited. It's been a while since we've hopped on live, so I know you did it yesterday, but it's been a while since I've hopped on a live anyways, so I'm excited to be here today. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for joining. It's always fun. We just get to hang out and do cool things together. It's the best. Absolutely. Can I make it bigger? No, not really.
Pushes it right off the page.
And it has to be up. That's good to know. It has a lot of rules.
Technology is so much fun.
Technology is the best.
Always something.
So how's school going, Tabby? Pretty good?
Well, they say I'm on the downhill slide, but it doesn't feel that way yet to me. So, but I'm 5 months into a 9-month program. So,
oh my gosh,
we'll see. Yeah. But holding my own, learning a lot, really loving it, and it's really helped me to step up the my readings because I do pull in so much physical aspects of people. So I really have a great idea of the anatomy of the body and where things are, and where we can hold things has made a really big difference in just being able to pinpoint accurately within the body what's going on. So that's been really cool.
That's
schoolwork isn't been, but
no one ever likes homework, but
no.
Hey, Patty. Hey, April.
We'll get there.
Hi, Jennifer Wardlow. My gosh.
There's Miss Jennifer.
Okay, so April wants to know what is in my future for a partner. So see what they have to say. Mm-hmm.
So I'll let you do your card pull, and then I'll give her the energetic reading that just came in as she asked that question. So we'll see how they compare to one another.
Sounds good. All right. So the first card I got for you is the Learning of Rights, which is interesting. I will see what this one says. I like to read these ones outright because they're like beautiful poetry every time, and I can't make up something that pretty. So it says, as you wander this path of the soul, you may come upon others like yourself who have formed small clans and found their place in the world. Watch as they celebrate the rebirth of their clan, the rise of the new, the passing of the ritual from one generation to the other. Learn of their rights, which can guide us all and be shared with all who have this tender love for beings with their hearts. Make time for play, delight, and celebration in your rituals, and let them not be so earnest that all joy is dimmed. This is the time for new and for unlearned, for the joyous discovery of what could be and what will come. Anticipate this with all the sweetness that you can muster. So what I'm getting from this, and then you rolled Leo and Mercury in the third house of Gemini. What I'm getting from this is this person is going to run in your social interest circles. So this person is going to have very similar values or interests as you. And then the Leo sign is really the sign of like romance and creativity and joy and all of those beautiful things. Then This is a person who is like-minded, basically. Mercury and the third house are all ruled by Gemini, which is the ruling of the mind. So yeah, I pulled a tarot card for you too. Let me read that. What is that? 10 of Cups. I have to do my little thing where I look at the words. Yeah, so the issue right now is they're just not in the space. The partner, the person coming, is just currently not in a good space for a relationship. They're working through a past heartache. Like they've been burned before and their heart's not fully recovered yet. So that's what's kind of going on in their world right now. Because the ten of Cups reverse is kind of like not interested in being in love or taking a chance on love right now, kind of being a little guarded and being more interested in non-traditional relationships instead of like traditional partnerships, if that makes sense.
Well, and interestingly, what came through on my side was more regarding time frame and what needs to happen with her to get ready for this too. So that kind of works together nicely. So it feels like there's still more work to be done on your side to help you get into that place so that you're ready to receive that partner when they come in. It does feel like your heart space is probably still a little bit closed off and has some healing to do of its own. And of course, timelines can vary all the time depending on free will, right? And how much you and that other person are willing to put in for work. But I'm looking at it probably will be more along the lines of a year. It's not coming up in the near immediate future. But when both of you have done that work that's necessary to pull yourselves into alignment, it should pull together very nicely. But right now, I think when you're trying to pull in a partner and you're not fully grown or fulfilled your growth needs that you need to get to, unfortunately, it can make those partnerships really unstable. So best to wait until you're in that really great place to do that. So
yeah. Hopefully that helps, April. And then Kim says, I'd like to ask, will I meet my rest of my life partner soon? Thank you. Okay, so Kim, I started to try to pull for you. I learned this cool new technique with the different suits, with how long it's going to take for something to come up, because everyone always asks that question in a tarot reading. They're like, cool, how long until I get that job promotion? How long until I find my partner? And they just, instead of pulling any of the minor arcana cards, they just kept pulling major after major after major arcana card. I tried 4 different times to find 2 minor arcana cards to get a good time period for you. So when this happens to me, it's usually because that's not what your guides want to talk to you about right now. They want you to be focusing somewhere else. Just like Tabby was saying, if you're not really ready, if you're not really prepped, then that person's not coming. So basically what I'm hearing your guide saying is they've pulled all of these cards for me to help tell you how to get there. What do you need to do in order to get to a good place to find that forever rest of your life partner, right? So you've got the moon. So there's a lot of disillusionment in your life right now. The moon will bring up the subconscious mind. It'll pull in anything that you're not seeing, and it will break down anything that you haven't seen before and show you the truth. So that's going on right now. And the reason that's going on is because you've got an Emperor card reversed. The Emperor, when it's reversed, is like the most immature of the male leaders. This is like that divine masculine energy that leads from like harshness and roughness and isn't like, instead of leading with love in mind, it's more of a leading of power in mind, is what the Emperor reverse card gives me. So there's some it feels to me like there's some issues in the past with a gentleman or a partner who behaved that way prior to this experience. And so that's kind of what you're experiencing right now. But you are the high priestess. You have these skills within you. You have the ability to reach into your intuition and pull from the resources of the earth and create some really beautiful healing for yourself. Now is the time to take charge of your healing. Now is the time to take charge of your life, because coming soon is the sun. And the sun, you've probably heard of before. It's like everyone's favorite card in the tarot deck. The sun brings all the good, juicy things. It brings beautiful harmony with family. It brings beautiful harmony in love. It brings your emotions into balance. It's all of that maturity. So really, I feel like for you, Kim, developing your spiritual gifts and looking into that and learning who you are and what things you have to bring to the world is what's going to help heal this Emperor reversed energy here and allow you to be able to see clearly through things, the moon, and move forward to finding that partner.
Yeah, and I would add to that as well. It really feels like you're dealing with some blockage in the sacral chakra right now. And that's our place of creativity. And how I'm perceiving this for you is that I think that you may be focusing more on the places of lack, what you don't want in a new relationship, instead of putting your focus on what you do want. And sometimes it's really hard to know exactly what it is we're trying to bring in. But when you can start to form that clearer picture for yourself of what it is you're trying to manifest and write that down and bring in the thoughts and feelings that are associated with it, you'll much more quickly be able to manifest that into reality. When we're kind of going back and forth and like, well, that would be okay, and this would be nice, and yeah, probably that's all right. I know I don't want this, but not sure about, when we're manifesting from that place, it's really hard to bring in something solid because we're changing our wants and needs all the time. So I'd really focus on creating the picture of what you want that relationship to look like, and that energy of that image is going to draw that person into you.
Yep. Yeah. And Kim said, I guess I'm scared of bringing the Emperor reversed again. Yep. That's why exactly what Tabby just said. Get really, really clear about who and what you want from that relationship first.
Mm-hmm.
Sink into that high priestess energy and know that you can have whatever you ask for and wait for that to come to you. When the moon's on your side, you can see through the bullshit. Okay. Joanna said, in my head, I have a new project. What's the energy of it? And then Joanna also donated 1111.
And we did skip over Patty, so we'll go back.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we can do Patty now. Yeah. Joanna's amazing. I know she'd rather do it in order. She's super sweet like that. Okay, Patty. Where do I need to look for housing to get a place I can afford quickly? Let me go to the next.
I think that message that we just gave to Kim also very much applies in this situation. You need to get clear on what you're looking for a place to live. You need to understand. So when we're manifesting, making sure that we're putting in the correct orders and not just waiting for something to happen, right? Just sitting back wherever, you do want to leave open, from all different avenues, right? But you want to have specific, I want a house, I want an apartment, I want to share a place, I want, what is it specifically? What is the scenario? What is the price range? What is the area of town? What are all these things that would be most appropriate for you so you can focus your energy in that direction? And I think that would be very helpful in, again, we're always looking to the outside. Where am I going to go look? It's instead, if we set ourselves up, then that thing will come to us. So instead of going external, bringing it more internal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for you, I got the World card in reverse, which basically just means like there are no shortcuts here. You do have to go through the processes necessary to achieve the outcome you're looking for to get to your dream. So, you may be putting all of your energy into something to try to make something work and it's just not working. And if you're feeling that stuck feeling, I'm hearing, yeah, it's time to release it. It's time to release the control of the when, where, and why, and just kind of like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. I know the universe is going to catch me. I know that's so much easier said than done, right? Yeah. Hold on, I'm going to roll the dice too. They told me to roll the dice. Capricorn and Mercury in the 12th house. Yeah, this is like this is like a really big spiritual lesson for you. So the 12th house is the spiritual lessons, the karmic closure, the spirituality stuff. Whenever Capricorn is placed in a house, it's to make that part of you much clearer. So there's some sort of patterning or karmic something wrapped up in this finding a new place. Some sort of mental patterning you do every single time you're struck or you're stuck or you're scared or abundance comes up. Yeah, they're just saying push through it because Mercury has clarity of mind. It already knows what it wants, but it's almost like sometimes this happens to me where like my brain knows what I'm supposed to be doing, but my heart and my body, my cells in my body remember the pain of things not working out well. And so I allow sort of like, I'm not saying don't listen to your heart, of course, but and they always say like, oh, your brain holds on to old patterns, but sometimes your heart does too. Especially if it's been hurt over and over again, like in regards to your dreams or something like that. So yeah, your brain knows what you want. Just take the time.
And if you do that, I think the 2 to 3 month window is very possible. If you get that work in, having that situated in a short amount of time shouldn't be an issue at all.
Yeah, they say try one day not even thinking about it and just follow the fun. Just go for one day, don't even think about it, and just do everything that catches your eye, that feels really fun, really good. And just kind of, okay, they say that's it. Don't keep talking. All right. That's very
rude. That's enough for you.
Yeah. Like, that's it. Just tell her to do that. I was like, okay. So rude. Okay. Okay, Joanna. New project. What's the energy of it?
While you're setting up, if you want, I can go ahead and start.
Oh yeah, go for it.
So when I feel into the energy of this, it feels very expansive. It feels like it probably has a lot of legs to it. It may be best advised to do build one leg at a time, because otherwise it feels like you can get spread in too many different directions and have too much energy going in too many different ways. So pulling back and letting it grow slowly, like kind of one leg at a time. It also feels like you probably would benefit from some chakra clearing. Your sacral in particular does feel blocked, and of course that's where we create from. So you may be having the word I'm getting is wishy-washy. It may feel kind of wishy-washy right now. And by clearing that could clear the vision and clear the path for what you need. So if that's something you can do on your own, that's awesome. And if not, certainly plenty of people that can help you with that.
Okay. Oh, sorry. You good?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Came back. Okay. All right. So for you, I've got the Three of Swords, and then the Bear, and then Makita, who we'll talk about in just a second. But I want to focus in on this Three of Swords Bear energy. Both of these cards are about experiencing a lot of obstacles and pain while like in previous projects. So in previous projects or previous things that you were wanting to create, a lot of pain and pain points got brought up. This is going to bring up shadow work for you as well, which is why I feel like Tabby's hearing that like you need to take it one step at a time. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's a very good thing. I think it's a very contracted thing. This thing that you are creating, and when you get those chakras cleared, it's going to bring up some of those old pain points, and that's okay.
I know we can't go away from that shadow work, can we?
I know. Ultimately, that bear brings anew, right? It wakes up for hibernation every spring and it starts all over again. So if you don't deal with it in this way, it's going to come up in another way anyways. And I'm hearing it's going to be easier for you to be creating something beautiful while you're doing it too. And then Makita, which is she who sees, observe, persevere, and scrutinize. I'm going to give you some of these are my cards that give you like little questions at the end of them that you can kind of reflect on. So this one says, what are the patterns I can see? When has quiet observation benefited me before? And how can I gain a new perspective now? So it's almost like you've done this shadow work before, it's coming up again, and now you get to just quietly watch it instead of judging it and just get really, really curious. Like, ooh, that triggered me. I wonder why. Ooh, that made me really sad. I wonder why. Ooh, that, you know what I mean? And now you're just kind of like, it's like an old friend you're greeting again and being like, oh, I know this flavor. I know it. I feel it. And you're really getting to know it well. And something tells me you're going to spend some time really thanking it for everything that it did for you in the past. Because honestly, that's what shadow work does for us most of the time, right? It protects us from things that we needed protection from in the past. So allow it to come up and just get really curious about it. There's no reason to judge it or be like, oh, this again or anything. Like, it's really time to fully embrace it now, which is really kind of beautiful. You've also rolled Aries and the South Node in the 11th house. So the South Node is what we already come in really, really proficient at. The North Node is what we're pushing towards, like what traits we're trying to pick up and learn before we leave this life. So the North and the South Node are always opposite of each other. The opposite of Aries is the Libra. So if you're trying to go Libra in the 11th house, Aries will spark and go. They're they're the fire starters. So they're like, boop, and then they're off running right away. The Libra is not so much like that. The Libra pulls in it analyzes all the information. What is everybody doing around it? How is everybody else feeling? And it comes up with a fair response. That's kind of what you're doing. You're gathering the data right now. And instead of just taking off running with the new thing, you're sort of living in it, because the 11th house is all about social awareness. It's all about future plans, future hopes and dreams. It's the humanitarianism sign. So in order to be good humanitarians, we have to be good noticers, right? We have to notice what's going on with humanity. So it's really important to take those beats, take those breaths, and stair step it.
Baby steps. Yep.
Baby steps. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I think that's complete. Thanks, Joanna. I've now lost track of the comments section.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so welcome. It's always a joy.
I think way up there we had somebody else who had donated. I don't know.
Okay.
it just shows Facebook user for me. So
yeah, I have to open up Facebook and mute it and then go through the comments. Okay, Sarah Gibbs Provinger donated 1111. And then I think before that, Jennifer Wardlow maybe asked about what angels wanted.
Okay.
Yeah, Jennifer Wardlow. Anything the angels need to say, they could tell me themselves, but they're like, ask Tabby and Sammy. Oh, no. Let's see, Jennifer.
I can feel that they're very much there on an etheric level. I'm trying to see if I can get any messages. Jennifer, it feels like maybe you haven't been listening to them, or if you're listening, you're not choosing to hear what they're saying. It feels like we're trying to get through to her, but she's not. I don't know if you're not hearing it, or you're just choosing not to kind of listen to what they're having to say. So maybe tuning in to see what that message is and what they're trying to get through to you. And I'll keep tapping in while Sammy is doing her thing and see if I can get anything else.
Yeah, I'm going to say a lot of words, Jennifer. They're wanting me to pull a ton of cards, but for all very different reasons. So I apologize in advance. There's one more. It's this one. Okay. Okay. So 2 quote cards for you. The first one says, when I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. And it's got little owls and a moon, which I think is very cute. And then the second one says, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good.
And that may be the affirmation that she needs, because I was just feeling into her solar plexus, and it feels like she needs confidence and a positive affirmation there. And that seems like it would be a beautiful one.
Mm-hmm. And then I pulled for you. I've read for you with these cards before. These are the like Into the Lonely Woods ones with the little monsters on them. They're the ones I got in Virginia when we were there last. And it says, time to move on. There is a sorrow when someone no longer feels the way they once did about you. But know you lit a light in their lives. Even though the time has passed for your tales to intertwine, the loosening of the bonds of love need not be bitter. For now, you must take your leave to refine who you are next to become. You will not be lost when you follow the darkening path that is into the unknown. You will wonder, but there are fragments of your soul waiting for you to find them along the way. Be content with the light you carry within and the light you have lit within others. These will be the guides on the mysterious path before you. So yeah, there's a bit of a letting go. And when you let go, you're unsure. You're not confident what's going to happen next, right? Or what that means.
And that letting go doesn't have to be a person. It can be a situation. It can be, something else that you're holding on to. And it feels like it's that fear of that unknown that's the holding back piece of it. Which isn't exactly the question she asked, but
she said, what did the angels want her to know? The angels, as you know, the angels will just say whatever. And then I also got these cards for you to meditate. Or, I'm sorry, these questions I got for you to just spend some time meditating on. It says, am I doing everything I can to stay present in this moment? How can I focus on myself more effectively? And what happens when I accept things the way that they are?
I think those are perfect questions. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Those are questions I feel like I need to meditate on right now. Of course, the angels would always just like speak to all of us, right? Not just.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, if you've tuned in and you're listening and you're like, that resonates for me too, there's a reason for that. Like you're here for a reason, you're catching this for a reason, and you're getting answers that you need even without asking them sometimes. So honor that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything else for Jennifer, Tabby?
I think I'm good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, donation from Sarah Gibbs Provinger, May. And it was 11/11. So the question is, what's coming Sarah's way soon, and how can Sarah align to her highest and greatest path? Ooh.
So Sarah, as I'm tapping into your energy, the two things that are really just popping out at me are in order for things to come your way soon, that you have to get really settled in those lower chakras and start to feel at home and feel comfortable, and really start to work on that self-expression of what you need to be successful, what it is that you need to take that next step and move forward. But it feels like you really need to work on grounding and being super stable before you're going to be ready for whatever is going to come your way. It feels, stability is the word that just keeps coming up. It just feels like it's kind of like, the bow of a ship kind of rocking back and forth. It just feels like that needs to be anchored in and be stable before you can start to move forward. And this just really big piece about using your throat and expressing what you need to be successful. So those were the two pieces that really just jumped forward for me.
Mm-hmm. I got the 8 of Wands reversed. You're getting ready to go through a time of like a womb space, like a time to take a moment, take a beat, regather, nurture yourself. And if you don't take this time, they will likely delay you in some way. That's what I'm being told. So when the 8 of Wands is reversed, it really represents like a slowness, a slow progress, kind of lack of movement time. So they also gave you the vulture. And the vulture is this like super incredible bird, right? Because it cleans up after things and it keeps the ecosystem going and it does the dirty work of the world in order to keep things clean and moving and flowing on time. And that's really what I feel like that's the gift coming your way, is that you're going to realize how much you do and how much you accomplish and how capable you are and how your energy really keeps things moving. I just feel like there's going to be this moment of realizing how incredibly impactful you are on other people's lives. And if they don't slow you down and make you notice it, you would just pass it by and not see the recognition that's coming your way. When the vulture's here, it basically means it's time for a rebalance in your life. It's time to really, really take a look at how much are you giving and how much are you receiving, and if that's equal or not, and if you're getting your fair share. Because the next card is generosity. We know you're generous. You're beautifully generous. You're overly generous a lot of the times. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but when people aren't reciprocating back for you, that's what I don't like. And I'm a little bit mama bear about you, of course, because you're one of my but that's something that can be something to take a look at. Who's not giving back like they should? And now is really the time to sit with that and think about it. Yeah, you don't even need me to read this card. You already are gratitude. You already are compassion and all of those things. I also rolled for you Taurus and Saturn in the ninth house. The ninth house is the house of travel, wisdom, expansion, higher mind, like collegiate level learning, essentially. And Taurus is really good at finding our priorities, at looking at our work, at looking at our value, what we value, things that are coming our way. And Saturn is the master teacher. So if you're really learning your lessons right now in what are my values, who values me, what value am I getting out of this, and learning these big, higher wisdom lessons, I guess, for lack of a better term.
I feel like that gratitude and compassion card may have come because she needs to turn that to herself too. She is externally very much those things, but maybe she needs to give some of that gift to herself as well.
I love that. Yeah, that feels really good.
Thank you, Sarah.
Just checking through, making sure I didn't miss anybody.
I am too. I don't see any new activity on my side anyways.
Yeah. Hey, Veronica.
So would you like me to jump into your energy and do a little reading?
What? Sure.
See if anybody else is going to come and join us.
Yeah. I feel honored.
All right. Well, just give me a second to tune in. So I'm getting the very first thing that's jumping out at me is the area out in front of you is very staticky. And I'm just feeling into that static to see. It feels like you can't get a clear vision. Like you're trying to see where you're going and it's not presenting itself to you right now. And then there's this undercurrent of undealt with emotion. Mm. So like it feels like you may be blocking yourself a little bit, like not blocking, diverting your own attention. Avoiding would be the word.
Tabby, I never avoid my emotions. I don't know what you're talking about.
But it feels like you've almost put a sheath between yourself and the emotions, and you're trying to leave them behind you. And so just that reminder that they will continue to follow you. You cannot separate yourself from them. And, maybe you could work on them little bits at a time instead of waiting for them to come up and engulf you. Because it feels like it could build into this tidal wave that kind of comes up over the top of your head and tries to engulf you if you continue to completely try to separate yourself from it. So,
yeah, like yesterday when I was working out in the gym and I just started crying out of nowhere. Yeah, that was fun. My beautiful husband's like, honey, what's happening? And I was like, I'm dealing with my emotions of abandonment. And he was like, cool. Yeah, walk me through that. What are you talking about? I was like, like stuff from 5 years ago that I'm still upset about. He's like, cool. Why is this coming up now? He's like, because I'm moving my body and my body has to move. Your body holds all those memories. Yeah.
So yeah, Veronica, there is a place to donate. It's in the center of the screen, paypal.me/Pelucity in Life would be where you could do that.
And it's spelled wrong, so that's not helpful.
You know, and what would, I don't know if you remember this or if you want to talk about this, but it would be interesting to know what exercise you were doing when the emotion released, because then it would really tell where you were holding that emotion, because that happens very frequently in exercise and massage, where you get to a certain part of the body and somebody will just start to sob or, you know, have some type of emotional release that's just, you know, because they're doing a certain, releasing energy from a certain part of their body with that exercise or that massage stroke that's happening. So
yeah, so probably really thematically, it was my core. I was doing my like planks and my, all my core work when it came out. So it's stored in my core. It's my core wounds, this abandonment thing.
there you go.
So
yeah.
But
it's interesting if you can watch those things, because sometimes we're looking for the external triggers. Somebody said something to me and it's making me feel a certain way. But sometimes it really can be our body just like, okay, you need to pay attention to this because here's what's going on. So,
yeah.
I don't know who I'm clearing for. I was not coughing prior to coming on here, so I'm not sure who we're clearing for, but I'm clearing.
Veronica says she's donating and she'll be right back. Thank you for reading for me, by the way, Tabby.
You're
I feel
welcome.
like every time you read for me, you're like, hi, cry. And I'm like,
You want to.
Never.
You're being my mirror. I don't know.
I will never feel my emotions, for I am a robot. A robot, as my husband says.
That's right. Well, and I know for myself, I have to watch, because if I allow myself, I will become very, very busy and very wrapped up in everything that's going on around me as a mechanism to avoid doing the shadow work that needs to be done. So I really do have to intentionally put time into my schedule for downtime so that I can work through some of that stuff. So I schedule, downtime just like I schedule a doctor's appointment, right? We need that time to stop avoiding ourselves. So
yeah, it's so much easier just to be busy, right?
It is, and we're doing great stuff, right? So it's a great excuse to be busy. Look at all the good things that we're doing with this time.
Especially as healers and teachers, right? We're like, oh, I could deal with myself, or I could help everyone else but me.
That's right.
Yeah. A dangerous game.
Yeah, April, your body is, here's the thing, your egoic mind will tell you all kinds of stories to try to convince you to do things that it would like you to do. Your body will never lie to you. Your body will always tell you the truth. So if we can stop listening to our minds and start listening to our bodies, it will give us much bigger clues of the work we still have to do and the areas that need attention. So,
yeah. All right, Veronica, I saw your donation. Did you have a preference on it's for 25, so I guess we can do the energetic reading to communicate whatever your higher self wants to bring into your awareness. Does that sound good? That was a lot of words really fast. That's what I always got dinged on whenever I was being watched for teaching. They'd be like, yeah, you move around a lot. You do this. You're really good at being patient with kids. You talk really fast. And I was like, who, me? No.
Yeah, personal possessions will definitely hold an energy and release a lot of things for you that you didn't even know were there. And it can be the silliest of things. You find a pot holder or something crazy and then be like crying because it has some energetic connection to your grandmother. It's Funny how those things work.
Yeah.
She's not sure, so okay.
All right. Anything your higher self wants to bring into your awareness. Okay.
It's really interesting. This is coming in levels, almost like the way they're showing it to me is like in a flower garden in a backyard. If you're going into a bank where you would do like the steps of, and I don't plant flowers. I don't know what I'm saying, but I can see that like these tiered steps where you might plant on different levels. It feels like there's something coming up, some change that's coming up, and it needs to be moved through in these tiers, that you're not going to be able to go from the bottom to the top in one fell swoop. And it feels like maybe you're not being able to express right now, and maybe it's because you can't get these words out of your brain into your throat to be able to express them. But what it is that you're trying to accomplish as you're making these steps, as you're making these changes. I'd really like to do some soul language clearing for you, if that's okay. It feels jumbled right here. And I don't know what
that actually hurts.
Yeah, and I don't know what the significance is being like the right side of the crown. So I don't know if that's just pulling it into the masculine side, the masculine energy of it, but it's specifically the right side of the crown that I'm feeling that pressure on. So do you want to do your reading first and then I'll do the clearing?
Yeah. That sounds good. And is that okay, Veronica, if Tabby does a quick clearing on you? Usually everyone says yes, but okay. So what I got for you is actually the same card that came out for Jennifer Wardlow. It says, when I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. So there's something to do with like unrest. Like you're not feeling peace. You've also got Savage, untamed, wild, mysterious, she who is wild. And the questions for this card are, who supports my authenticity? What unexpected things can I do today? And where will my magic take me? And it's interesting that because you've rolled Mars and Pisces in the 9th house, and they're telling me something about like you feel this action to travel, to move, to get out, to go somewhere else, to experience a new culture. And you're dreaming of like what this will do for you. It's almost, oh, it is a dream. You're going to be having dreams, or she is having dreams of travel. You're having dreams of somewhere else that's not here. It's where you feel like you can, it's going to bring out this new piece of authenticity, this new piece. It says reach your goals is another card I pulled for you. Is this like a bucket list place or something you've wanted to go to? And then the last card is the mother of all cards. It's Sophia, the divine creatrix, divine wisdom. Yeah, it feels, I actually feel the feeling of like when Sophia talks to me, it kind of like hurts the back of my brain a little bit. I think Sophia is communicating with you. I really do. And I think these travels are connected to her or work you're doing for her somehow. This is like mass global work kind of thing. I'm not sure if I'm honestly allowed to know what's happening. I hate that. I hope that gives you something, Veronica. They're like, it's not really for you to, it's not really, it's not for me, unfortunately. So that's all I can know.
And she said something about having I can't read when you're on my computer, having a client, a difficult client, and that he's a mess. And it doesn't, what I'm feeling does not feel like it's associated with an outside person. This feels very internalized, but I just tried to do a check-in, and it feels like there's a lesson there, and it feels like it may be around boundaries. I don't know if that will help you at all, but it feels like what you're dealing with there and why it's becoming chaotic and feeling very messy is because you need to reestablish some boundaries there. So hopefully that helps. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can take some of this and move it off. Shant irs untukor is ant irasnukus mirs ant ari ishnukut ant et ara ishnukuyat mirs as ir sukut as nikiot or nik is mars as irs kunt ar nik ert urt mi at ari ishnuk us ant erishnikiro sukuturayat mirasak arshataria santoroshan Nakaria Sataria Tetino tu or Tataya Sotoras Nakers Nekers Utsund Ares Ataria Sukutorata Marta Esh Nukorat Kis Nukuria Santaris Sataris Nitera Sukush Mat at it et ot ant er ish Nukotia Santaria Suk Shia Santaria Sukutias Ti Unsk Orsnitz at Inteki Ut Mat ar Eshnit it ort ant Erek Eros. Not as it. And it feels like perhaps the reason why why this pressure is here on the right side of the crown. And I don't exactly know how to say this, but usually we say that, you need to bring yourself more into the 3D and ground into the 3D, but it seems like whatever you're doing, you're trying to make decisions and discern your next steps from a 3D perspective, when the reality is you actually need to expand more into that 5D perspective to find the answers that are right for you. So kind of the reverse of a message I would typically give, but I think sometimes when we're working in the spiritual realm, we try to bring too much of that 3D aspect in, and it's okay to open up and expand and allow some more etheric answers to take place instead of grounding everything in the 3D reality. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, because the quote card I got was, when I lean on faith, the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. And the Sophia card is all about like taking leaps of faith. So it's really about like you can't practical your way through whatever this is.
Mm-hmm.
Which is my worst nightmare. And
yeah, I get that.
And then
my side.
Yeah, Jessica donated. It says Jessica Chocolate, but I'm assuming it's Jessica Charles. I know she always donates from a name that I don't recognize her having. So if you're still here, Jessica, let us know. Oh, you're so welcome, Veronica. I hope that was helpful. I feel really bad. I feel like I could give you snippets of a bigger puzzle, and that's all I was allowed to know.
I'm just trying to back out of Veronica's energy here. Oh. Okay. And what are we doing with Jessica? What question?
It's the 1111 one.
Okay.
What's coming your way soon, and how can you align to your greatest and highest path? It's okay, Jessica. I just always see Jessica and then some random last name, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Jessica, but I don't know. Ooh, what is coming your way? My heart's going really fast.
It feels like you're reaching for something that seems far away to you, but is closer than what you actually perceive it to be. And the thing to really work on here is courage and trust, confidence. I'm going to keep tapping into that. I'm going to let Sammy do her piece, but that was the first thing that really just popped in.
Yeah, so for you, I've got the Judgment card. So someone or something is having its comeuppance much, much faster than you think. Yeah, especially if this person has been judging a situation. It's like clarity is going to come to them real quick about you. So if they're being judgy with you or judgmental, they're getting ready to get a wake-up call on what's actually going on in the situation. You just rolled Scorpio and Saturn in the 5th house of Leo. So that's that harmony house, that childlike spirit, joy, self-expression house. It's like a real emotional maturity. It's unfortunately you are contractually obligated to make this person grow up and be an adult and see that things are a little more complicated than they might have assumed naturally. You've also got the Phoenix card, so the rising of from the ashes, right? This is like a big transformation for them, and then it allows you to kind of step up and be who you are and not what their perception was. This is really interesting. Then you also got Sauvage, the same card that Veronica just got. She's wild, untamed, mysterious. So this is about like taking risks and knowing that things, let me reread them because I've already forgotten them. Who supports my authenticity? What unexpected things can I do today? And where can my magic take me? Yeah. It's trusting. It's trusting that it's all coming in. You just getting happy with yourself, right? Happy being who you are fully. Things are coming to you.
And I'm not sure if this is an energy energetic thing that's coming through, or if this is actually a physical thing. So you'll have to decide this for yourself, but it's really impacting the vision on the right side of my face. It feels blurry. It feels like I'm not being able to see out of the right eye really clearly. So this could be, a real physical thing with your eye, or it could be, that ability to see into the future, that you can't get that clear vision to what you're looking toward. So it could be either one of those things. And I don't, why do you give me these things? I'm sorry.
It's going to be good, whatever it is.
So the nice way to say this would be, perhaps the time of the month is impacting the way that you're dealing with your husband. Mm-hmm. So I had to think of a nice way to phrase what they were giving me. So, but that may be what's impacting your ability to have patience with whatever your husband is trying to bring through to you today. So.
Oh, husbands.
Yes.
They spark big emotion, no matter good or bad, right?
Well, the thing to just keep remembering is that if you didn't love them so much, you wouldn't have such an emotional response to them, right?
It's locked me out of PayPal now. That's good. That's really good.
I think that feels pretty complete on my side. So, but yeah, definitely trying to get some clarity of where you're moving toward so that you can see it more clearly. So.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Unless anyone else has anything else. Waiting for my cycle to start. Yep, there we go. Yep. Yeah, also yesterday when I was having my breakdown at the gym, I was like, I don't know, I'm on an emotional roller coaster today. And James is like, I was like, maybe it's because I'm on my period. And James is like, well, I wasn't going to say anything, but... And I was like, yes, very aptly, do not ever say anything. You're a smart man.
Yes, very smart man.
Lest you want to be yelled at in the middle of a gym. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Yeah. I really appreciate it.
Somebody really needs to tune in tonight. It feels like there's some codes that are ready to come in if you're open to them. So I can feel the codes sitting there, but I don't know who they're meant for. So. Could be me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for playing, everybody. That's fun. I like.
Yeah, that's a good one, right?
Yeah.
And we'll catch you tomorrow or soon. I'm trying to do these as daily as humanly possible, but life is life, so we can only do what we can do.
Still have to human, huh?
Sometimes, yeah, it's really rude.
All right. Bye.
We'll catch you next time. Bye, everyone.